Welcome to Get Ripped Collectibles.
Big 12. So, and obviously it is Texas and Oklahoma's last year in the Big 12. And the commissioner, I heard him today, was talking shit about Texas and Oklahoma and basically saying he was at some event at Texas Tech and he's like, you know, he's like, he expects Texas Tech to beat the other teams and so on and so forth, beat those other two, and he was
Yeah, I
just
saw that too. Yeah, he expects
talking
it. He
trash.
expects him to beat Texas again.
Yeah, he was talking trash. So,
Yeah, I'm sure
we'll
that's
see.
not going to do anything to Texas's fire when they play Texas Tech.
Yeah, they don't have any much of a roster. So, all right, so let's roll right into Big 12. So, I am, as you know, from the bet that you placed for me in Las Vegas, Nevada. I went out on a limb, and I am saying that the TCU Horned Frogs are going to be number one in the Big 12. I know everybody's all Texas, or everybody's all Oklahoma, or Kansas State, maybe those up-and-comer Texas Tech Red Raiders. But I think our boy, which you love that coach, I think he made the right moves on the folks that left the team. I mean, from the portal, I was jealous of the players he was getting from the portal. And I'm a Florida fan, and we're supposed to be getting better players, and we didn't. This son of a bitch got some players. So that's why I got them at 11-1, and we'll see. Texas coming in number 2, 10-2. They're going to have a good team. Everybody expects them to win, but I just can't do it until I really see them do it. Everybody's talked about it all these years. They hadn't done shit in 12, 14 years. So I'm going to say they're going to be number 2 at 10-2. Then I've got Kansas State Wildcats at 9-3 coming in third. They got Will Howard coming back. I think that's going to be a strong team. In reality, in my opinion, any of those top 3 teams could win the Big 12. TCU, Texas, Kansas State. I don't think anybody else is. But I think that all 3 of those are capable of winning the Big 12. Then you got dropped down a little bit, not that much. Oklahoma, I think they're going to do a little bit better. I think I might have been a little generous with 9-3. Dylan Gabriel's been around for like 10 years, so he does have a lot of experience at quarterback, but he's fragile as glass, so who knows how that's going to go. I don't know if they've got enough yet on the defense to get where they need to go. So I've got them coming in at 4. Then I got the Texas Tech Red Raiders, who they had a very decent year last year, 8-5. Up from 6-6 the previous year. That Tyler Sloth guy, I mean, he's a good quarterback, and he's doing a great job. And one of the better quarterbacks in that group. So I've got them coming in at 5. I've got I've got UCF coming in at 6 at 8-4. They got John Rice Plumlee as their quarterback, the kid that came over from Ole Miss. I mean, they were pretty impressed. They did a good job last year, 9-5. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit tougher in this league, and we'll see how they do. But I've got them 8-4 at 6. Then I got Cincinnati coming in. I probably overshot that a little bit. I've got them at 7-5. Last year they were at 9-4 in their league, but if I had to do it over again, I don't know if they're going to make 7-5, but that's where I've got them, 7th at 7-5. They've got Emory Jones, who's been at Florida, at Arizona State. Now he's at Cincinnati. He's not much of a quarterback, so not real sure, 100% sure what I was seeing there, but that's what I've got. Baylor Bears, they're just not getting there. I mean, been a roller coaster. 2 years ago they were 12-2. Last year they're 6-7. They got Blake Shapen as the quarterback, which he's pretty decent. But I see them middle of the pack there at 7-5 and coming in 8th. Really disappointing, in my opinion, Oklahoma State. I've got them at 6-6. Ninth in the Big 12. Alan Bowman, senior quarterback. Last year they were 7-6. So if they go to a bowl game, it's about the same. I don't see a lot of improvement. At 10th, I've got the Kansas Jayhawks. They got Jalen Daniels, real exciting guy. I mean, they excited everybody at the beginning of the year last year. Everybody thought, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, but they ended up 5-7. That's the reality of it. I mean, it is good for Kansas, right? But I got them at 5-7 again. Then I got Houston coming in at 5-7 at 11th as well. I don't see, them tearing it up. They're gonna struggle in this league. They didn't play all that great last year. They got Donovan Smith, who's a junior that transferred from Texas Tech, who'll be their quarterback, but I don't see them doing much in this in the Big 12. BYU, I've got them at 4-8 at 12th. They've got Keaton Slovis as their quarterback. Dude, I think this might be his fourth team. It's at least three. It's at least three, if not four. So this guy, whatever, he gets around. No one really wants him. He keeps moving, but I got him at 4-8, the newcomers. Iowa State, we know they're screwed. They got Deckers was the gambler, the quarterback that was gambling on his games. He's not playing, and their star running back, he's not. So they're screwed. Bottom line, they were 4-8 last year. I'm giving them 4-8 this year, coming in 13th. Then I got West Virginia. They're on the outs. I mean, that coach is done. They were 5-7 last year. I got them at 3-9 this year. They're worse than some of the teams that came in from the AAC. So I got them bringing up the rear, and the coach getting fired about halfway through the season. So that's the way I see the Big 12, Mike.
Yeah, I'm with you on West Virginia. So I'm with you on a lot of these again, but some of them, not so much. Win in the Big 12, I got Texas. I got them at 11-1. I think that one loss is probably going to be to Alabama. Oklahoma, I got at number 2. I got them at 10-2. I think a healthy Dylan Gabriel, another year for that defense under Brent Venables' system, and just the mentality of the mindset of what he wants out of his team. I think that's going to be really big for them. So I'm looking for that defense to improve heavily. Kansas State, I got them at 10-2. Like you said, Will Howard is back. I expect big things from that team. They have an opportunity to win the Big 12 and potentially competing for a playoff spot. Texas Tech, I got at 9-3. I think that they're going to be a solid on offense this year. I think the defense is going to be. We'll see. I think the offense is going to be good enough to kind of carry through a couple games. UCF, Gus Malzahn, I got them at 8-4. I think that they have a real good shot at upsetting some people this year, upsetting some of these bigger teams. They catch some of these guys in a key opportunity, so they could make something happen.
Mike. One thing I think the upper echelon of that AAC, which we got some of them here, right? UCF, Cincinnati, Houston. You got Memphis. All those guys, I mean, to me, are better than the back end of the Big 12, in my opinion. I mean, that's why I've at least got most of them up in the middle of this league. I mean, it's going to be a little tough coming in, but they're going to start recruiting, and they're going to be a little bit better. And I think, it's going to push some of these other schools down because, UCF's, I mean, Malzahn's pretty good, and it's Florida. Yeah. He's got great recruiting. Cincinnati has had, has done quite well over the years. So, I think they're going to make a name for themselves in this conference and jump right into the middle. But go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, you're good. I 100% agree. I mean, they're in a great spot being in Orlando. That's 2-3 hour drive from, the heart of college football recruiting. So families are able to go see their kids play. Who wouldn't want to play in a Gus Malzahn offense? So yeah, I'm with you 100%. So yeah, I got them at 8-4. I have Baylor at 8-4 as well. I think that they're going to have a little bit better of a year, but they're still not quite there to what they want to be or expect themselves to be. TCU, I have at 8-4 as well. I just think that they have a tough schedule, and it's going to be tough for them to duplicate what they did last year. I'm with you though. I 100% agree on the transfers. I mean, Dykes brought in exactly who he needed to at wide receiver, exactly who he needed to at quarterback. He needed a couple guys on the defensive end. They needed some help on that back end. They made the addition. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to kind of replicate the success. And I mean, if they do, you're looking at Sonny Dykes now being mentioned with Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Ryan Day. He's going to be up, or Lincoln Riley. He'll be up there in that conversation if he can duplicate, what they did last year.
And can you imagine though if that happens and somebody gets to cash that ticket in?
That would be a great bonus, wouldn't it?
That would be a nice bonus. That
wouldn't be
almost
too bad.
as good as winning the illustrious Trippy Cup, but doesn't feel as good, near as good. But the money's nice, so.
The money's always nice. That's what it is. I got Oklahoma State at 8-4. I'll go ahead and throw up the picks. So I got Oklahoma State at 8-4. I got BYU at 7-5. I like this BYU team, Dave. I know it's crazy to say, but
getting Slovis, bro.
Hey, I like Slovis. I like Slovis's play. I thought Slovis should have gotten play a long time ago over some of these other guys, like when he was at Pittsburgh, when he was at USC. I think Slovis has game, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do in a system that maybe fits his needs a little bit better. Kansas, I got it 7-5. I'm big on the Jayhawks this year. I think they got a great shot to make noise. They brought a lot of people back. They brought 17 starters back. They got a couple guys in the transfer portal. And I think that mentality has changed. So I'm looking for a bowl-eligible Kansas team this year. Iowa State, I have it 5-7. I'm with you. I just don't see it. Matt Campbell, it's weird how Matt Campbell went from one of the most touted names in college football to he might get fired like within the at the end of this year. He might be gone.
They were 4-8 last year, and literally the year before when the Gators are looking for a coach, they were talking about
same with Miami. Same with Miami.
And then
before we got
in and goes 4-8
before we got Cristobal, Matt Campbell was one of the
issues.
guys right on the top. Yep. So I don't know.
Crazy.
We'll see what happens. Houston 4-8 for Dana Holgorsen. Donovan Smith, I love that addition. I think that's going to be key. I just think they have a really tough schedule. It's going to be really tough for them to get through some of these teams. And the way it lines up, who they have to play kind of back-to-back or a 3-game stretch, it's a gauntlet. Cincinnati, I have it 4-8. I'm not expecting a lot out of them at all this year. Give Satterfield another year of recruiting, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. West Virginia, I got follow in the rear. I'm with you. I think Neil Brown's gone by probably week 6, week 7, and I got them at 2-10. So not great.
All right. Very good.